G'day guys, Nick Rusling from Johnston Grocke here with you again. Welcome to this week's, I suppose we can call it an episode, we're doing them weekly now. I hope everyone's over the holiday hangover and back into 2019 and kicking goals already. Look, last week we touched on a bit of a market update on what's currently going on in the property sector, Australia-wide and more specifically here in Adelaide. I suppose following on from that this week, I really wanted to have a look at what to look for in a suburb that you can expect to then see capital growth from. Now, capital growth is obviously what we're looking for in an investment property. Rental yields and everything are great, but capital growth is really where we see the most sort of potential to make some good money out of that. Now, it's not as simple as just finding a suburb that's grown, had some great growth over the last 12 months, buying in it and making money and selling it, 2-3 years later. It doesn't quite work that way. As with the property cycle, based around suburbs and cities, we also see it for suburbs where they will have plateaus, they will have, peaks and troughs and things like that. So it's important to understand that it does get specific to suburbs, not just cities as well. Now in Adelaide, we're very different again, very separate to the eastern seaboard, where we see the biggest gains in property investment is the buy and hold. So we come back to the time in the market. So if we're looking to just buy an investment property, forgetting all the strategies we've discussed in terms of development or renovating, if we're looking at just buying an investment property, it's key for time in the market. So the longer you're in the market generally, the more equity you're going to build up in that property, and hopefully the value will grow in the property as well over that time, and that's where you'll see the biggest gains. So it's important to know that this isn't a immediate turnaround 2 or 3 year plan. We're more looking long term, 10 or 15 years is where we really see the greatest gains that people get from it. Now, what do you look for in a suburb when you're looking to buy an investment property? There has been an older strategy that's used by investors. Now it's worked very well, doesn't always work, but we have seen some great results from it, and that's find the suburb that's had the greatest growth over the last 2 years, and then go the next step out, go the next suburb out from that, and you should be able to buy at a reasonable price. And as the demand for that area continues to grow, so will the capital value of your property. Now, it sounds like a very basic and easy strategy. It's not. That may take 2 years for that to happen, or it might take 10 years for it to happen, or it might never happen. So there is obviously a risk associated with that, but generally if a suburb grows, as the demand grows and that bubble, I suppose we talk about, moves out, so should the value of your property then increase. So it's important to take that into account. Now, in a suburb, what are we looking for? So all the basic things that we look for in a lifestyle. So what school zones is it part of? What council does it come under? Is there public transport available easily for it? Are there bars, cafes, shops, all those sort of things? Because what we've got to remember is that as an investment property, people have got to want to live there. We don't want any vacancy rates. So we want it to be desirable to a range of renters, not just, individuals or couples. We want it to meet, families. We want it to meet a couple. We want it to meet an individual. We want it to sort of go through that whole life cycle plan. So make sure you take into account what's around the area and what's in the suburb. Now look, there is an enormous range of things that we could discuss in terms of what you look for in a suburb and what you don't look for. Just remember that it's not necessarily just about what you like or the areas that you want to live in. We've really already emphasised it in earlier videos that it's key to take the emotion out of an investment purchase. You've got to fall in love with the numbers that it produces for you, not necessarily the property. So just because you don't want to live northeast of the city, or you don't like the fact that it's got a single garage, doesn't mean that it doesn't suit renters generally. So make sure you take that out of it and you're making smart, informed decisions when you're buying the investment property. So any questions at all, guys, around suburbs and everything? In the next video, I'm actually going to dive a bit deeper into some suburbs that I like around Adelaide and what I think that we should keep an eye out for. So that'll be on next week, but I look forward to hopefully hearing from you guys. Any questions at all, let's get into 2019. Thanks.